Coach, you officially wrapped up non-conference play this past weekend with a pair of matches against Northern Kentucky. How do you feel about where the team is currently?
I feel great. I mean, I think it was a really diverse preseason, and we played, at home, on the road, against some teams that I thought we should have beat, and some teams that were a little bit farther ahead of us. And we're getting better. Right now we're as healthy as you can be after 12 matches, and I thought the way we finished the preseason was great. We went into NKU saying, "Hey, this team has been established for a long time. They swept us last year. We got to find a way to win one match this weekend, learn from the night before, go out, make changes, and be better the second night." And we did. And we went on the road. Credit to them. They're a tough team. They serve really well, and they've got some really good pins. So we're in great shape. I think we're getting better. The freshmen are starting to become not so freshman-y at times, and we're finding ways to win using the whole roster in these matches. So excited for MAC to start.
Yeah, speaking of freshmen, in the first match that we played against Northern Kentucky at home, we kind of talked about Lindy, and obviously talked about how she's playing a new position. Normally she's middle, and she's over there playing opposite now, and just kind of all like the learning pain and like the growth and all the things, right? And it seemed offensively she played pretty well, but she really stepped it up in that second match at Northern Kentucky, set some career highs, hit over 500. Can you just talk about what you've seen from her, and is that something that you expected for her to be able to transition so well so quickly?
Yeah, I mean, she's super competitive, and she's, the ultimate kid that wants to be great, and she has a great mindset about it and a great energy, and asked her to kind of switch over to the right side. And I think she hit 540 with 30 kills. I mean, she should have been Offensive Player of the Week in the MAC. Like, sorry if that offends anyone, but that's a crazy stat, especially when you go on the road and beat a team like NKU. That's beating a lot of the MAC teams they've played already this year. So, she had a great weekend. The sky's the limit for her. She's great from the end line too. So she does, she can play defense. She can serve. The blocking stuff will start to come. That's definitely a big change, going to a pin from the middle. And then with the offense, her being able to go off of 1 foot, go off of 2 feet. It's just really hard to defend that. So great weekend for her. Great sign for us. I mean, you have Lauren and Lindy on the right side in the 6-2. I think Lauren hit 300 or 400 and Lindy hit 500. So good sign for the future. Was super proud and happy for her, especially you're playing against a lot of Cincinnati kids on that other team. So it feels good when you succeed as a freshman.
What can you say about also just the team's response after you lose 3-0 at home, but then you turn around, at their gym, at their home, and win a gritty 5-set win?
Yeah, I think I needed that too. I had two of the older players reach out to me the night after Friday night, and we're like, "Hey, like we've got more in us, and that won't happen again." And they fired it in there on Saturday and came out guns blazing and found a way to go on the road and pick up a quick set and not quit when things got tough throughout that match. And they got some bad calls, and NKU got some bad calls too. And we were able just to keep competing, keep fighting. And that's a huge step forward for this program. I mean, beating teams like that on the road after you get swept, shows a toughness is developing, shows older senior leadership, shows the fight in the younger kids aren't scared. There's just another match for them, and they expect to win. So we're headed in the right direction. It's a long season ahead of us. Obviously, we're still in year 2. We're battling lineups and young players and trying to get ourselves back, in that constant mode of we are good enough and we can win these matches. And it takes time, but I'm really proud of the team, the staff, and just what we did this preseason felt really good to me.
Yeah. Well, you officially kick off conference play this Thursday at Akron. What do you know about the Zips, and what do you expect?
Well, I think they had a good preseason as well. They set super fast, so they're pretty fast offensively. I think is like the main outlier that they do versus other teams maybe we've played. But we've played a couple teams like that in preseason. They've I would say won the matches they're supposed to win. But it'll be a good match. You're on the road. It's our first conference match. I think it means a little bit more now. The team has a goal. I keep telling them, if you can even go 1-1 for the next 9 weeks, you'll have a good chance to be in that conference tournament. So it'll be a tough match. It's on the road. I think they're a team that we match up well against if we serve the ball well. And we've got to find maturely and emotionally a way to come out and play at our high end, and we'll have a good chance in that match.
You have a quick turnaround the next day, heading over to Buffalo. What do you know about the Bulls, and what does that experience also, again, I know you've had some quick turnarounds, we've played in these tourneys, but, starting MAC play, you have to head two road matches, back to back really quick. Just what do you expect from the Bulls and just that quick turnaround?
Well, I think they're good too. I mean, they've been good for the last couple of years, and they're well coached. And it's probably our hardest road trip, where you've got to go. You leave Wednesday, you play Akron, you get to Buffalo probably at 1, 2 in the morning, and then you've got to kind of sit around all day and then play Buffalo, and then you've got a 7-hour bus ride. So the team's aware of it. Like, their job is to go in there and empty the tank and find a way. And I think it's good for us to start this way. Because it'll probably be the heaviest, hardest trip we take all year. And it's good to kind of rip the Band-Aid off and go do it while we've been home for the last 2 weeks. So I'm very optimistic about it. I know it'll be, come Saturday at 3 or 4 o'clock, we're going to have to really, dig deep and, push past some of the tiredness and being on buses for a long time. But I think this team's ready for it. I think they understand the challenge. I think they understand the opportunity. I think we talk about it all the time, like toughness and energy and excitement, enthusiasm. These are things you can control, and not, most things in life aren't going to go perfect. And this is another example of you get an opportunity to go play college volleyball. And I'm confident in our team. If we play at our high end, we'll have a chance to win both of them.